Hey guys, I thought I would pop on real fast. I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna make sure that this is somewhat centered so you can see. We're gonna paint some roses. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you all had a very nice one. I hope you got treated well. So you can use any size of brush. The best ones that I'm going to use today is an angle or a flat, an angled, and a very small liner brush. And the colors I'm going to use is magenta, white, cadmium yellow, maybe a little bit of black, and sap green. Okay, love my table. Yep. It's all crazy colors. So what we're going to start with is, I'd like to start with a bigger brush, but I'm going to go ahead and just use the one. Let's try this one. It's a little bit bigger. Wet down your brush. And what you're going to do in both the roses, the petals, and the leaves, you're going to use one side a dark side and the other side the light side. So what you want to do is, I'm going to try it with this brush first. If not, I'm going to go back to the other one. So you're going to want to get the right side with your magenta and the left side with your white and run it back and forth on your brush like that. All right, and we're gonna start, and I'll start with the white up. So we're gonna make a couple flat flowers first, and then we're gonna come back and put the centers in and the leaves. So you start and you're making wigglies. All right, you're just making one. Come back and get your white and your pink again. Now you're gonna come back here and go like that again. All right, see how that kind of blends together? That one I got a little bit wild. You can always go back and correct them. It's sticking. Make sure your water and your paint or your paints are very wet. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. I think I need a little bit of water with these because it's my heater, I think, is too close to me and it's drying out the paints. So do it again. All right, here we go. And go back and pick up more white if you have to, because you really want that white on those edges. Okay, let's do that again. I got too much white on the, just only put it on the sides and do that practice. Add a little bit of water if you have to. Make sure the white is always up. All right, don't worry about that center, that's gonna get covered up. Let's make a couple more because I want those to kind of dry a little bit. Nope. Make sure you have that white on the one side. If you have to, clean your brush off and start again. I'm gonna actually use this other one. That's why a flat brush is kind of better, because you can actually pick up that one side. It's easier if you can see that. let's just leave that. These are going to be very small. I might have to go back to that. I know I have a wide or bigger flat brush, but I'm not finding it. Oh, let's see. I know it's here somewhere. This is very big. Let's try this. This is a very big one. All right, so back to the thing. White on one side and magenta on the other. Go back and forth. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because my paints are drying out. Keep that dark side to the center. There, I like this brush better. We're getting there. All right. You're pivoting on that, the dark side. You're pivoting that brush. You don't have to make that wavy look. I'm just doing it. Kind of blends it, colors together a little bit. Let's do over this one and that one. And then by that time we can go up to the front row, top row again. Make sure you keep your white to the top. This is kind of the same motion you're going to be doing with the leaves, but a little bit different. All right. So now, let's go back up. Do the same thing. I cleaned it off because it was kind of getting built up. So now we're going to do the center, and we're going to pivot and bring that top around. Okay? And I might have to switch brushes. This isn't good for the smaller part. Well, yes. Let me just finish this one. Yeah, it's... All right. It's kind of pretty, but it's not what I wanted. All right, we're gonna go back to the other, this one. Sorry, I'm having brush difficulties today. Like I said though, your flats work the best for these flowers. All right, so come up. And then you did that top C, I call it. Now you're gonna come down here. You can do the same thing, but you're gonna make it meet the top, okay? Now you're gonna do two little commas to the side. All right? And do it again. There you go. Now you can get more technical on that. Just a minute. Gotta get that out of the way. Now you can take your time. You can put more of those little commas in, to make it look like you have more petals if you want. So let's go ahead and finish these out. Make sure you have some white on there to kind of get some colors of it. And you can finish it out like that. You can bring some up around. Okay. We'll finish these down here. That's pretty wet yet. My paper is moving. Top C, bottom C. Make sure your white is still on there. Mine always ends up coming off. And then do your commas to the side, but make sure, like I said, I get in a hurry and I forget to come back and get my paint. Now your first petals, like we did here, I mean, you can go, let's do a quick one here, 2, 3, and 4. You can do something as that simple. If you want to do it that way, we'll come back and we'll finish that one out. I'm going to let it dry though. That isn't quite dry, but we're gonna go with it. All right, let's go back up here. Kim, actually, these would look really cute on your signs that you do. Add more interest. All right, now on to the leaves. Same concept. Can you see these okay? Or do we need to get closer? Let me try and get closer here without ruining anything. Hold on. I need to make sure I adjust it. There. Okay. So back with the leaves. So we're gonna use sap green and a little bit of the cadmium yellow and some white. And right there is my test thing. So I go dark green on the right, cadmium yellow. I do that back and forth, and then I come back and put white on the left and do the same thing. Okay, I'm trying to just lighten that up, but I want that yellow color in there. All right, so let's get the yellow or green. yellow. The green. And let's grab that little bit of white. All right, so we're ready to go. Okay, same kind of concept, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn it and put these leaves on the bottom of the flowers. So now they're going to be upside down. But now watch. Hope my hand isn't in the way. I'm going to start here on the edge of the rose. I'm doing this squiggle, 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 but I'm coming straight up. Now I'm coming back to the other side of the rose, go flat against it, go squiggle, squiggle. You're pivoting that top of that brush again, and there's your leaf. Okay? I think I'm going to add a little bit more white again. Back to this yellow side. All right, we're going to put one right beside it. So we're going to go up. Then we're going to meet the dark side to the dark side. And you're pivoting that top up. And your tops are going to meet. All right? I got a little bit of white and yellow leaf, but whatever, it'll work. You get the concept, I hope. So let's do it again. And you can make them any size you want. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I had the TV on. Hold on. My apologies. Very sorry about that. All right, so where'd my colors go? All right, I need a little bit more green, yellow, and a little bit of white. Okay. So I'm going to try and make these a little bit smaller. My brush is drying out. I'm just dipping my brush in the water just so this smooths out a little bit. I'm going to go to this side. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Turn your brush, wiggle, 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 and up. Okay. Well, we'll add a little bit of, I'll show you here in the end, and we'll have you add a little bit of detail. Okay. Wiggle, 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 up. Wiggle, 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 up. And just practice with them. Have fun with them. And these leaves, you can add it to any flower, actually. Sorry if my hand is in the way trying to get the other. It is in the way, isn't it? And you can add a little bit, I'm going to add a touch of magenta in the next leaves I'm going to do, because let's go here since I already started. And that kind of brings out the flower color. Let's see, touch of red in there. So you can do that too. We have, that was magenta, even though it looks pink. But that, you don't have to, but if you want to, you sure can. All right, I can already feel my brush getting dry. Let's go here. Now I'm over exaggerating these leaves so you can see the technique that I'm doing. I'll make a normal sized one here, ish. You can make them small, you can make them large. And then, now if you want to, you can take your liner brush, you can make your, now this is where the black came in. I just added a touch of black to some of that cadmium yellow, watered it down. I'm going to add a little bit of the sap green. So we kind of have a brown green dark mix. Now you can make little vines. However you want to do that. I'm going to show you something else though too. But make sure it's watered down, otherwise your brush is not going to flow. Okay, now what I wanted to show you, very last thing, and then that ends the roses thing. Now if you want to though, it's totally up to you. You can come back and do some quick little highlights on the petals if you want to kind of add to it, but as far as quick and easy, that is how to do quick roses. And you can come back and embellish them if you want. But for the final thing you can do, now I'm going with that dark green we just mixed for the vines, but I'm just using a touch of that, just using a touch of this and adding a little bit more of that cadmium yellow. Okay, and make sure it's watered down because you want it to slide. So I'm just gonna go over, just add the color to the leaf. Actually, I don't like that color, so let's go. I'm actually gonna use white to the cadmium yellow. And I'm just adding, can you see that? I'm just using white, so it's a very pale. You can come down in the center of the flower, or the center of the leaf, very lightly. You can come around and do squiggle marks around the leaves. But again, make sure your paint is runny. And this just adds to the, makes it look more finished. But there it is, guys. There it is. You can highlight your vines if you want a little bit. Add more vines. I like making the vines. Can you tell? All right, there you go, guys. Have fun with them. I can't wait to see your flowers. We'll see you next time, and take care and God bless, guys.